Content over everything.
Welcome, family, friends, community. How's everyone feeling? Everyone good, yeah? Firstly, I want to apologise for the timing that we've started. There's been a few alterations to the running order, but we're here, and we're grateful that we're all here, and you're here, and our young people are in there, they're excited. So just acknowledge that we're all here. A round of applause for that. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have been watching the screen, the show rail. Just gives you a little backdrop of what's been going on over the year. We've done a lot over this 1 year alone, being here in West London, and it's been a beautiful experience for everyone who's been involved, because we can only grow and get better at what we've done thus far. So I just want to say thank you for everyone who's in any of these visuals, any moments that you've shared with us, and the rest of you, please find your space within Manhood Academy, because this is a village. It's not about us men here, or anyone who's wearing the brand. It's really about those who are not wearing the brand, because a lot of people are, behind the scenes making things happen. So yeah, the village mentality is very important for the growth of what 2020 looks like for all of us. Can you see someone see yourself in there? Oh, look, come on. Yeah. So, these are great moments. So we want more of those. We do have, camera crews in the building. We have BBC, Sky, we have content over everything. So there's some great brands in the building right now. I'm hoping that people who don't want to be in the camera has been prepped already. Is everyone all right to be visually? Did everyone sign to be all right in camera? Yeah? If not, speak to one of my team so that we don't get one of those, powerful shots of the mayor, but you're in it and now we can't use it. Let's utilize the space if you don't want to be in it, but it's good if we can get everyone, visually seen. So, because time's pressing, the first thing I want to do is just acknowledge that we're all here today. We've seen another day. Sometimes we can start beautiful events and occasions and forget the simplicity of being grateful that we woke up this morning. 2020, most of us can share something that we, can say, wow, someone that I love or someone I know is no longer here. I don't even need to know everyone to know that that's a reality across the board. And sometimes we forget that moments like this, they're not promised. We all know tomorrow's not promised, but the reality is we're here now, and just acknowledging that we're here another day, that means, we should be grateful for that, so just the attitude of gratitude to start this space and energy is what's going to really make what today's about, so yeah, just have a little moment and think about anyone who would be here that's not here, or just the fact that you are here, because I value moments and I value life and I value the reality of, I don't know, what tomorrow holds, none of us do, but we're here right now. This is a moment that we're all blessed to be able to experience together. So yeah, I say just for gratitude, I think we should just give ourselves an acknowledgement, and whatever form or, culture, religion, whatever it is you want to give thanks to, just be grateful that we're here, man. So on three, I want us all to shout out, say, I'm grateful. Yeah? On three, yeah? Youngsters, you hear what I said, yeah? On three, we're going to shout out, I'm grateful, yeah? Whatever it is you're grateful for, we're here. So 1, 2, 3. I'm grateful! Yeah. We're here. So, we have got a running order. Like I said, a few changes have happened because some people have to leave, some people have to move around, so we definitely want to get everyone acknowledged today. I hope the mayor's been prepped for moving forward into speaking earlier rather than later. No pressure. But I know you know there's important places and things that obviously you must be taking on for the rest of the day. So we definitely want to consider. Is that fair to yeah? We're running from the right, yeah? Yeah. So like I said, what I'm reading is not exactly what it was. So, you know, if you see me doing this to my colleagues, it's because I have to make sure I'm working off of that. So, yeah, if we can, acknowledge, and put our hands together for the mayor, and yeah, we'll come up and say a few words. Big round of applause.
Well, I think it'd be true to say that you've put the sentiment exactly right. I think we're all so grateful that we're here today. I have to say it's special this morning because although it's a little bit cold, which is why I'm wearing a sweater, it's been the most fantastic sunny day. And I don't know how you feel, but as soon as the sun comes out, it just adds a little bit extra. I mean, the other day wasn't bad, but when it was all rainy and windy and stuff, then you get a day like today, magic. I think you put it so well. I wanted to say, first of all, thank you for inviting me as your mayor. And I am your mayor. This is a role that I have. This is not me being grand. It's a role that I hold on your behalf for everybody in the borough. I'm not political. I'm here to represent the whole community on a ceremonial basis. I don't have any power or role in making things happen. But the idea is to visit and engage with all communities everywhere in the borough. Thank you for inviting me and welcoming Sarah and I here so well. As soon as we walked in the door, there was a smile and a friendly welcome. And would you like a cup of tea or coffee or whatever? And it was just like that the whole time. So thank you very much. I met the Manhood Academy team for the first time when I had the honour of cutting cake with Levi Rites down Hall. You've seen the visual up there. That's partly the reason that I'm not allowed to have lunch. It's too much cake. And also, I wanted to sort of, a big thank you to Levi because he came on after that. We had a chat and I had a carol service before Christmas. And he came along and he read a sermon. I mean, Mr. Reggae Sauce reading sermon in the chapel on the church in Kensington High Street. Isn't that powerful and good? And he was so eloquent and a wonderful person to participate. So good to him. I was also so impressed with Manhood Academy and what I heard then that I wanted to come along today and come along with Sarah Underbrook, who's the mayoress. She's also lead member for Adult Social Care and Public Health, so she's well known to some of you who work here. And I'm very lucky to be her husband as well. So. When I was asked to be mayor, our chief executive, Barry Quirk, introduced me to rather a tongue twister word called civicism, which is partly made up of civil, how we behave to each other individually, and civic, which is how we relate to each other as a society, as communities, and so on in various different ways. At first, I thought this was really rather dry and academic, but it's resonated in every place that I visited. Schools, colleges, residents, community associations, faith centres of all religions, old people's homes, high streets, hospitals, in the park with adventure playgrounds and so on the street and at home, in the pub, in club, an art club, a library, a gym. And I visited all these institutions and organisations across the borough over the last few months. And this word civicism and how it's made up resonates. And I would like to thank Manhood Academy for their contribution, for offering the context, for growing constructively and confidently into manhood. And I think that it's that combination of being confident and being constructive and making a contribution and then getting the reward of seeing how that plays out and how people respond to you when you are able to do that. I mean, I went through teenage years. I was a bit of a rascal myself, and we've now got 3 boys who are sort of getting out of that. As parents being highly stretched. Even more importantly, I wanted to applaud each one of you who've attended the Academy for starting your personal journey, because it's a personal journey for each one of you. And you are becoming, through this journey, community heroes and civicism contributors. So remember that word, citizen, how you relate to each other individually, and also how you relate to the group that's here, and how this group relates to other groups and the community in wider sense. And through that civicism, you are contributing to your community well-being and resilience. So it's mental and physical well-being, how we all feel about each other, how we feel positively about each other. So could I, in ending, ask a favour from you young guys? Could you work with people here at Manhood to find somebody from the community who you'd like to put forward for a Mayor's Award? And it's somebody who's contributed in a very special way to the local community. I've left one of these at the desk downstairs, but also if I can give you that now. Describes how somebody's contributed really specially. Now, it doesn't have to be somebody who's got a big title or is employed or not employed or whatever. It's somebody who's contributed to the local community and made a special contribution who you recognise, and somebody who you look up to, and somebody you'd like to be seen with and working with.
So is that specifically for the youngsters, or just
what I was thinking is,
everyone in the room? Yeah?
if the youngsters could work with everybody in the room, together, and come forward with one or two suggestions.
So, for example, like me, for example. You've got to paint the picture, innit?
Something I think he needs to start at the bottom.
Yeah, I get that.
You listened to your own words.
No. I get the idea. So that just makes it clearer for them,
Yeah.
Not me, but unless they want to.
You better not want to. But anyway, somebody who you really respect and reflects, somebody who's done really good. And I just wanted to say a big thank you for inviting me today. And well done, everybody.
So may I quickly, if we can get a quick picture with you and all of our youngsters, probably here. Come up here quickly. And Mayoress, they can come in. It's a boyfriend, it's a man thing,
Two masters, alright. Let's get a picture moment. Shake the mayor's hand, everybody say hello to the mayor. Come round if you're shaking the mayor's hand. Come this way. Come this way if you're shaking the mayor's hand. Stand in the line here. We're going to have 2 rows, I think. It's like Tetris. We're doing Tetris. Okay? Come, we're doing Tetris. Okay? Tall ones at the back. Let's do Tetris like that first. Red tops at the front. You see how we've had it, Pyrrhus? We've got the coordination. Red, the little one. Green, the medium. Okay.
It could be somewhere.
If I go, what about a bit here? Can I squeeze in back?
Alright, we're just going to take a little moment to capture the moment.
And everybody see the camera. You can see the camera there. Lots of smiles.
That is a perfect picture. Beautiful. Alright. Everyone. Okay. Alright. Give the little ones a round of applause. Thank you, young man. Back to your seat. You can take a lot of pictures today, haven't you? You are the stars of today, okay? They are welcome to today.
Walking together.
And Mayor, just for more clarity, what do? We email the person.
If you email the man, I think it's an email address on
Yeah, there's an email address on it.
Yeah. He speaks to Tony also, who's secretary there.
Okay. Tony, yeah, if you can, yeah, that'd be great. Okay, so let's move on swiftly because time is against us, and we do have a major event afterwards, the Kwanzaa event, which definitely everyone's welcome to. Please stay for that. There'll be food and entertainment and whatnot. We have 4 elements in the Manhood Academy, and we've got a few of our young people. We call them young masters because that's what they are, isn't it? They're masters in the making. So a few of our young masters that have nominated themselves to come up and speak about those elements or what they've taken from those elements. So if we can give a big round of applause. And Maury's over here. There was more than this last week. I was like, wow, there's too much people in the room. Yeah, so in no order. Well, let's start from here. J1, yeah? So, yeah, do your thing. Is that all of them?
That's all of them.
Coming up next, right? Okay, cool.
In the fire element, I learned that when you get angry, you shouldn't be using that energy on other people because you might get in more trouble. And you must have self-control and do something you like so the frustration can go away.
Yeah.
In the earth element, I learned about grounding yourself and making sure no one can push you off your path and making sure no one can ruin your day.
I learned how to be calm in the air element.
Yeah. Did we have no one from the water, no? Okay, cool. But either way, what you get an idea of what they've been doing in these elements, you know? Yeah, big round of applause for them. Yeah. You can stay up here for a second. I'll let them stay up here while we bring up. So there was a residential trip away that a lot of the youngsters went to. What was this?
Another one.
November,
November.
right? Yeah, I wasn't on that, so I can't really speak on it. But we've got a young person that had a good experience that's going to share. Was PGL, right?
PGL.
Okay, so Hadar, come to the stage and give us a little breakdown about that trip.
In archery, I learned to focus. The way you focus in archery, that is the way you have to focus in school.
So, because I wasn't there, what other things did you guys do? Because I know time's against us, but just for those who might want to get a bigger idea, what else was there? Archery?
We did climbing.
Climbing, yeah?
And problem solving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on. Yeah? Zip firing. Zip wiring. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's proper. Who didn't do that? Did everyone do it? Okay, cool. See, we've got brain parts here, yeah? What else did you do? Go on. Rubino.
Stand up, Rubino.
Stand up. You guys can all contribute. You were there. Go on. Jacob's ladder. Yeah. Go on. Giant swing. Woo. What else?
Who else wants to contribute?
What else was there? I'm sure I saw some. Kimani, what was he doing? Rock climbing. Yeah. You know. So.
And he was at the top.
He's at the top.
He's at the top.
Yeah. So that experience, plus what you just said about archery, you know, is again, these are the things that are going to build them. So their character, when they're older, they've got all these skills, and they won't be afraid of heights. They won't be afraid things that we miss out at a young age. They're getting now. So the importance of it. Give them another round of applause. You guys love the stage, innit? Don't worry, we've got some superstars amongst us here. Next, we want to acknowledge, it's always about acknowledging, like I said, there's a lot of people that's supporting Manhood Academy over the years, a lot of people that's, fundraised, they've done stuff for us, and definitely one of those, I would say individual, but I know there's a team behind this individual. Grateful to say that, I know this individual personally, and not only is she a beautiful soul, but the fact that she's put on these events where we've gone to these events, there's been...
They were lit.
Lit. For those who don't know, it was turned out, it was a proper rave that's been put on for Manhood Academy, but sponsored by Adidas. So you have to come in your Adidas attire, we're the only ones there wearing Manhood Academy. So, celebrities, you know what I mean? Like, we felt like real VIP people in both of these events that, this young lady and her team has put on. So, without any further ado, we've got...
Oh, you can sit here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was,
Yeah.
No? Okay, cool. All right, cool. Yes? So, if we can all put our hands together and welcome to the stage Crystal from Escapism.
Can I just add to the build?
Go for it.
I mean, this is yours. Thank you so much for the team. I just want to say Escapism, they are a company that takes care of events around London. And they approached us a few years ago and said they wanted to raise some funds for us. And we was like, thank you, So we did an Adidas spring party. Adidas spring party. It was like super fun. And it was raising money for a good cause, our young masters at the back. And we repeated it again, and we're just so grateful, just for your support. It's been a few years now, and you and the whole team. Way back when we started a couple of years ago in North London, you supported us then, and we just want to say we are wholeheartedly grateful for your contribution. We'll continue to build in the future.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Keep round of applause.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. One thing that we want to, adopt and make sure we keep in our culture is acknowledgement. Acknowledgement and praise goes a long way. And I know that that's something that we don't do enough of. 2020, I don't mind if it's something that no one else has acknowledged you for. If you see something worth acknowledging, let's do it, So that's what this is all about. We love this part. It's the main part. So on that note, let's acknowledge the young masters, the actual experience.
This is why we're here.
That's the whole reason we're here, right? Yeah, so in a minute, I want everyone to, really, get their hands and their feet going together as we bring these future leaders, because that's what they are. They give us hope that tomorrow is going to be better. If we don't plant the seed now, we know what's going to happen, right? So, and this is in order of the rites of passage in regards to completing all of the elements, the 4 cycles, because we've got young people that's joined later on, and we've got young people that's been there from foundation. So all of them, are worthy of acknowledgement. But we just want to make sure, we put it in the order that we've worked, if that makes sense. Yeah. So rites of passage, completed all of the cycles. Leon, big round of applause. Big Leon. Foundation. Sorry.
Come on, make some
Keep clapping. Here we go. Someone's terrible. Good morning. Good. Energy. Morris. Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, this is just in regards to completing all of the cycles from when we started to now. There's also, the youngsters, the young masters that are also consistent from when they've joined. But, it's been from when they've joined. So we have to acknowledge them for their roles as well. So I'm not sure if we can share this stage or if we can move these off and then we'll bring the next one up. Yeah? So give them a big round of applause. So acknowledging the rest for participation. I need some water. I need to put my teeth back in. How do you say that word? Participation. Yeah, that's the word. Josiah. Yeah, I'm producing it, innit? Kiana, innit? Yeah. Keep that energy. Keanu. Okay, cool. Yeah. Keanu doesn't want to be on the camera, but we still acknowledge him from there. So. Yusuf. Cool. And even though he's he's part of the elder group.
Yes.
He's been here and he's been giving back a lot, you know. So I think acknowledging Joban. Yeah, man, come on. Okay, cool. So, yeah, just acknowledging.
They're smiling.
They're smiling. This is the future again. This is the future that's going to follow, you know.
Hold up the certificate. Come on.
Yeah, hold them up, guys. Be proud. Yeah. So, while we've got them on the stage and we're looking at this lovely decorative of colours and, you know, merchandise, you know, what we've got and what we've had from day one, from the start of Manhood Academy. Again, acknowledgement is very important. And as much as we are doing stuff behind the scenes, we all do different things individually. And one of my brothers, who's a co-founder, is responsible for the branding, you know, the merchandise and
making us look
good.
And
making us look
good.
The swagger. You get people say, oh, I want to take it, I want to look yeah.
Making us look good.
A lot of that, if not all of it, we've got to say goes to our brother Darren Osborne. So, before we even acknowledge you properly, two more of our youngsters are here, and that's fantastic because it's the right time to have them on the stage, actually. They're taking their jackets off, so we'll give them a few minutes. But yeah, if you can walk through, youngsters here, just brush his shoulders off, yeah? Brush his shoulders off as he walks past you, yeah? Brush his shoulders. That's like, you say, thank you for the swag, thank you for the swag. Yeah. Come on, brush his shoulders off. Come on, brush his shoulders off. Brush his shoulders off. Yeah. Yes. Excellent. Yeah, so you might have a moment to speak if you want in the moment, Darren. Like I said, two more of our youngsters are here at the right time, and if we can get them on the stage. These two, I believe, would have come up with the first lot for completing the whole cycle, if I'm not correct. Yeah, so two more certificates for Sunny and Adrian. So this is the future, guys. This is just, you know, half of what there is. There's the elder groups, the 13 to 19-year-olds. Some of them are amongst you in the crowd now. Like I said, Jovan, he's part of that age group, but he's been giving his weekends, coming down on Saturdays to, you know, shadow and support. So the younger ones look up to him. We don't have to do everything. We can say, you know, sort that out. Get it? We're having a little tea break, so, you know, like, we appreciate you, you know, and the fact that you don't mind coming every week, you know, means that you're going to be learning how to also be a leader to the youngers underneath you. To get it? So yeah, definitely acknowledge all of them, please. Give them a round of applause. How's everyone feeling so far? Good?
Yes.
We're enjoying the acknowledgement. This is our future, right? And sometimes, you know, we you know the saying, what's the saying? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Right. So sometimes you have to remember that without the tree, none of this is going to even happen, right? And, you know, we have a thing called Parenthood Academy. It hasn't been branded like Manhood Academy, but it's existed as long as Manhood Academy has existed. Because it's not a drop-off centre. This is a place where you come with your child, you know, with your children. You come, get empowered, share, and teach, so that whatever's going on when your child leaves here and they mention something, you know what's going on, because you also have been, you know, getting new tools. So this is the most important part for me personally. Parents showing up, you know, being involved means that the work is going to continue. Regardless if Manhood Academy is actually operating or not, the work is going to continue because the work is at home, yeah? This is the reality. We can talk about everything we want to talk about, but if we're not doing the work at home, all of this is just a fun Saturday, isn't it? It's a Saturday, you know, that's a Saturday work, yeah? So the parents that are consistent and that are coming, every parent that's here, you know, we acknowledge you, we love you, we appreciate you, and we make sure that we took some time out to get some ink on a paper to acknowledge you as well. So if we can, let's get the parents up here, yeah? If you're a parent, if you're a guardian, someone who's been here supporting, bringing your youth down here, big round of applause for the parents. Right? Come on, parents. Come on, parents. Don't be shy, because your young masters are not shy. Okay, so this is the Parented Academy. Without the Parented Academy, there is no Manhood Academy. So the thing about the Parented Academy, for those of you who do not know, you know, like I remember back in the day, right? You go to a youth club, and mum would be like, okay, here's a Ribena, here's a pack of crisps, I'm going to Starbucks. 2 hours. No. At Manhood Academy, the parents stay and they have their own space. We speak about progressive parenting for the millennials because we know it's a bit of a different ball game with the millennials, right? So what do we have conversations? We do vision boards. We have conversations about challenges in school and family and co-parenting, etc. And at Manhood Academy, we are not here to teach parents. What do we know? What we have is a round table dialogue on parenting. I'm a parent of 3, and together, myself and the team, we just speak about what we know, and we exchange ideas and we exchange experiences, and from that, we will learn and grow. So that's how the Parented Academy functions. And does anyone, because also, you know, like the young people, another thing, right? Remember at school, when you were bursting with enthusiasm and you had an answer to a question, and you know, like you weren't allowed to sit out, but you would, you know, like, okay, so that's the enthusiasm of the young people, right? The thing about as adults, sometimes we get a bit serious, intense with life, we get a bit dense. So we explore maybe just lightening up, maybe self-care we encourage also, you know. Okay, focusing on the children 100%, but what about you parents? How do you take care of yourself? So these are all the subjects that we explore in the Parented Academy, and I'm wondering if any of the parents would like to just give an expression of, let me see, you see, do you know the difference between the young people? Look, who's going to step up? Come on.
Maybe just express, your experience with the Parents of the Academy, just so we get a sense from the parents of what we do.
Ah, definitely. I love it. For me, it's been a space where to be able to listen to each other about the stuff that happens to us normally, but the chatter in our heads, and realize, oh, I'm not crazy. This is normal. This is what happens. And then also learn how to have those conversations, and we give each other different perspectives. It's been the big thing for me. Having conversations where I deal with things a certain way, but another of the dads or the mums deal with it in a different way, and they give me a moment and an awareness of something else, and another way to have the conversation, to have the,
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
Well said. Thank you. Anyone else? Before we wrap it up?
I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to MANHOOD Academy. My son has come such a long way since he first started, and as I always say every time we have something like this, being that where I'm living isn't as culturally diverse as it could be. MANHOOD Academy provides a lot for my son in terms of cultural awareness and things that are aimed at his age and for his race. So it makes a huge, tremendous amount of difference to have people that are in our corner, we call it the village, to have a team behind us that are always supporting us and always giving us confidence, and as parents to enlighten our children and move forward.
Okay, we'll say thank you very much. And 2020 is looking good in terms of just continuing the dialogue about how we all as a team, as a group, as a community, just grow our children. So thank you. Much appreciated.
Well done, well done. And there was a few parents who didn't want to be on the camera that's in the audience, so we are acknowledging you as well. You know who you are. Definitely, yeah. We've got certificates for them. We'll get them afterwards. You good? Yeah, let's start with them. Yeah. What did they say? Out of sight, but not out of mind, right? Yeah. Excellent. So, this next part is somewhat, I think, is worthy of complete silence, just for a few minutes, if we can. And the reason why I say it's worthy of silence, complete silence, is because it kind of ties in with what I said at the start about being grateful that we're here, and being grateful for life and the experiences that we have. There are 2 awards that we're going to present to 2 young masters in this space for their excellence and what they've achieved, but it's more about who the reward is in memory of, So when we have an award and it can tie in with, someone or multiple people that's no longer here, we're keeping their name alive, through the works of the young people that we're acknowledging. So it's not just a clapping for that young person, you're clapping for the memory of who, these individuals were, and keeping their memory alive by, having them, presented on the certificate or having their name as an award. So I'm not going to personally bring forth these young people, because the 2 people that we are presenting these awards to, or better still, the awards that have been created of these 2 people that are no longer with us, they have got families in this space, and also they were connected to MANHOOD Academy in some form or way or another. And I feel the best representation of that is those people that they were connected to be the ones that honor their name and bring forth the awards to the young people. So I just wanted to make that clear for the importance of what this is. So the fortunate 2 members, of our academy that personally knew these 2 young people, you know, our brother Kehende, who's going to come up and present the Meshach Award. Come up here, bro. Give us a round of applause. Let me just acknowledge you, then you go back to it. All right. And
Multitasking.
yeah, and brother Konsu is also, you know, going to acknowledge on top annual award. So I'm going to leave it to you two. I'll leave it to you two to build this and acknowledge the young people that we've got for these awards.
All right, thank you very much. All right. So the family that I'm going to speak of is a very dear family to me, really close family to me. When I started working in Brent, gosh, it must be about 15 years ago now, and I worked at a school called Newfield School on Longstone Avenue, and I met a beautiful person called Rose Williams, who was my manager, my supervisor, and she has a daughter, three daughters, which I all got, and one son. Ruth, Rebecca, Rachel are our daughters, and her son is Jacob. Some of you might know him by the artist Gappy Ranks. Yeah. And me and them just clicked, just like that. It was an amazing experience, and I clicked with their whole extended family as well. So anytime you see me with them or them with me, you'd think that, oh, do you know them? I just met them. Beautiful. And Ruth, my dear friend Ruth, who's here today, her first child was called Meshach. That's why this is a Meshach award. Beautiful boy, had his whole life ahead of him. Energy, knowledge, wisdom, ambitious, and last year it was censored, taken away from him. And I remember when I was at his funeral, his uncle, Jacob, said something that stood in my mind. He said, a name will live on. Yeah? Your name will live on. So when you're long gone, they will say, well, that's the name named after this person or that person, like that. So I remember that, and I thought to myself, how can I actually make this child, who I claim is my own child as well, live on? And the fact that he was great, I said, you know what, we've got to do a greatness award to this young man. The first person who got this last year was a young man called Kyan. Kyan, can you come up? He got it last year when we had Amsterdam students come over in the summer. Yeah, that's it, right there. Right there. If by magic. And he's going to present it again to a young man here. Only one person can get it. And we love these boys that we work here, whether I'm in North London, whether I'm in East London, whether I'm in West London. These boys, they're like my own children. So he is my son. So if I saw him on the street and I'm not on MANHOOD Academy time, I say, Kai, what are you doing? But you're not working now. I'm working 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. So we take them on like they're our own children. And I wanted to call up, if I can, because Meshach's mum's here and Meshach's grandmother's here. They are beautiful people, so if they could come up as well. dear close dear friend. Dear friend. Known her for God knows how long. I can't even remember how long. And I just clicked with her and her sisters and her brother and her extended family. All right, so the boy that is going to get the Meshach Greatness Award this year, 2020, is none other than Jovan. Make some noise! Well done again, Jovan. Hold it up, hold it up.
This award is so deserved, and rightly so, in the name of Meshach. And I just want to share some sentiments about this young master. If you look at this image, this pretty much sums up Jovan. Remember earlier I said about, at the front of the class, I know this is who he is, okay? In terms of his participation. And I think in the spirit of Meshach, I see no better student that can just fit those groups in terms of continuing his name for this award, So on behalf of the family, this is most certainly worthy of this award in terms of who he is as a young man. Is there any tech people here that can support with graduation? Okay, so, all right. The next award I would like to build up, and can I bring the family? Yes? Okay. Of Anwar, and I just want this to share for me and Sola also, who works at the school that Anwar worked at. I just want to share who he is. I just think it's important. Anwar passed away, and he worked at the school that I work at. But the memory I will always have of him is that he's just the sunshine in the room. Anytime Anwar walked into the room, and I work in a social, emotional, therapeutic high school, so it's really intense. But when Ansar came in the room, everyone's laughing, in terms of just who he is, in terms of bringing light to a room. And, after he passed, we grieved as a whole unit in the school. And that's just the energy he carried. So we decided also to create an award in his name. Okay. And this is the second award. The first award was won by our young masters, the twins that you saw earlier. But for this year, we have a young man who we all mutually agree just carries a certain light. All our young masters are special, but this one, there's an X factor. So I would like to call up to the front, Leon. All right, thank you very much. Do you
guys see why I said that was a moment that we needed to be quiet and present for? I don't know about you guys, but that nearly had me welling up, man. Like, it's emotional. And the reality is that this is still happening, you know, in our community. And, you know, be the change we want to see is something that I embody. Change is one of my aliases names, but I feel that all of us can do a lot more in 2020 to prevent some of the senseless killings that's happening with our youth in the community, because all of us can be present in the community. You know, when Meshach's, you know, unfortunate death happened, myself and a few other, you know, strong community leaders, we stepped out and we made a roadblock through Stonebridge, through Church Road, through Halston, the rest of us, Manhood Academy, and that's supposed to be a consistent thing. I know it's not all about marching, but it's about letting everyone know that this can't happen on our watch. So, like, I just want everyone to understand that we all have a role to play in this. It's not, oh my gosh, the youth, them, you know, because it's only an issue when it becomes our youth. Do you understand? And we cannot afford to be waiting for that to be the only time we act. Like Ken, they said, these are all our youths. You know, we're not here to, you know, wait for, you know, it to be so close to home. We're out here doing this, and we need more people in the community to just find their own lane. You don't need to be a specialist with working with youth. You could be someone who just has a free weekend and says, look, I'm gonna take a bunch of the youths to play football, you know? Or the youths that are in your vicinity. It could be a community where you walk past these youngsters, they see you, they know who you are, you might nod to them. Give them more than a nod. Pull them aside. What are you doing with yourself, young man? You with me? Because we are the village, and until we start acting like the village, this is not going to stop. Is this making sense? Yeah. Okay, so... So, I say that to say this. Manhood Academy, you know, it's been, how long? What, 4 years now?
4 years.
Yeah, 2016, did it? Yeah, wow, yeah, so 4 years. I was fortunate as one of the 8 co-founders. So, you know, in this space here, you've got 4 of the main co-founders present. And I was fortunate to be trusted by the 7 of my brothers to create something that we now use throughout all of our academies. And it's something that it warms my heart to hear every time it's been said, because it is actually something that will enforce the thing that I was just talking about with the village mentality. And that's our Manhood Academy chant. You know, we have a mantra that all the young people know, and I always invite people in the village to learn it, to get involved and do it with us. We're probably gonna enroll everyone right now to be a part of it, just because what we just experienced about, you know, the 2 awards, Meshach and Anwar, they now become ancestors. Some people hear this word and get afraid. Don't understand that we will all become an ancestor at some stage. You leave this world, you then are, you know, revered as an ancestor. It's nothing too high-tech or deep about it. So for me, I feel like if we don't acknowledge those who have passed on, we aren't really ever going to learn from the, you know, the lessons, the tools, and the experiences that they, you know, would have left with us. Does that make sense? Okay, so
I have to stop you there, Leo, because
I'm downplaying.
Chant, yeah.
You know, I'm a humble man. It's not about me. I just want to be.
Sorry, he's downplaying. The chant that we are creating is used in, when we took them to Gambia, it's used in our North London project, used right here in West London, it's used in our East London project. And in Holland, when we was in Amsterdam, we done it last week with the parents. So it's just taken on a life of its own. So it's not really, the way music is okay, but It's more like it's like a Steven Spielberg movie. This thing is huge with CGI effects and the whole work, A-list stars, everything, red carpet, everything. So the chant that we're about to do with our young men, and we hope you enjoy it, is something that has taken on its life of its own, and the words behind it are so thoughtful and deep. That's why it resonates with so many people on so many different levels.
Thank you, brother. So yeah, on that note, that is probably what I was trying to say without sounding like, you know, it's all about business. Yeah, it's not. But they are principles that, first and foremost, I've always felt that I want to live my own life by. Do you get it? So it's easy to bring up something if you know that's what you're about. You know, you might not always be the best of these they're affirmations, but
I'm so sorry.
you want to share that? You want to let them see the room we're in? I mean, yeah, don't worry. So, like I'm saying, it's just to make a long story short. This is something that I constantly practice myself. I might not always get it right because it's down to perception. But if it's something that we have as a way of being, I'm sure we can make a difference with everyone in our lives. So I want all of you to join us in this powerful, you know, global chant, which is gonna continue even when we are old and grey and when we're gone. That's the importance of it being shared with people. So it lives on, like the names of Anwar, Meshach, it lives on. So when you hear ancestors in this chant, please think of those that we've lost. Yeah? So, how are we going to do this? Yeah, let's get the boys up here. Let's get every young Manhood Academy member. If you've got Manhood Academy brand on you right now, please come up. You know who you are. If you're wearing anything that says Manhood Academy, please come up.
All right.
Before you go there,
Red tops in the front, green tops in the middle. Green tops in the middle.
Yeah, so normally this is done in a circle format where we link arms, yeah? And this is a test for these young masters because every line of the pledge is supposed to be known and memorized by all of them. So randomly I'll ask one of them to say one of the lines of the pledge. So what I like now is that they will volunteer and tell you, yeah, I will say line 1, line 2, who's that? Amari's already volunteered. Will you do the first line? Who's going to do the second line? J1, second. Who's doing the third line? Yeah? Third line. Who's doing the fourth line?
Hands up, hands up.
Put your hand up.
Just put his thumb up.
Come on, just come up, yeah? Good, yeah? Good. Fourth line, yeah? And the fifth line we'll do as a group. Yeah? So the most important thing about this is, even when they don't remember the line, don't help them, because the repetition of them hearing it so many times, you'll see that they'll get it. Yeah. So we support, but we don't actually, you know, take away what they're going to give to us. So everyone else, just find yourself in a place where you spiritually can receive every word that's being said here and repeat it back, because they're going to say it and we're going to give it back the same light. If they say it with low energy, that's what we give back to them. And they know that that's not going to work. Yeah? So we are a projection of whatever is being, you know, given to us. Yeah? We good?
Yeah.
So everyone get that, yeah? So as they present, we repeat.
I. Brothers. Keeper. I am. My. Sisters. Protector. I am. My. Community. Provider.
It's your moment. No, don't worry.
You can help him out, young man.
Don't worry. Give him a moment, because it's not that he's forgotten it, it's just nerves. Replace the I with something else and then you remember it. Don't tell him, that's all you need to remember. Yeah, that too. My nephew's getting involved. Yeah. We good?
Sorry.
Just replace the I with something else.
Okay, good.
One of your brothers help him. Just help
Who's
him.
gonna help him? Who's gonna support him?
You got that?
Next line.
Did he tell you? Okay,
Ready?
cool. That's just the starting line. No, Don't worry, you're doing well. Don't worry, you're doing well.
Good.
It's our boys to be men, okay?
So who do you want to help say that line with you? Because I want them to
Choose
say it in
someone.
your ear. Okay, so say
Respect.
it in his ear.
Read.
You done okay? No. You got that now, yeah? Okay, so now we have to give you that attention again.
We are ancestors. Reincarnated.
Last line?
Next line.
Go on.
Go then.
We
are
MANHOOD Academy.
All right, boys.
Give them another round of applause. Nearly finished, guys, but do you guys hear the importance of that head? Huh? Yeah, do that. Yeah. Okay, cool. Where's the
We are.
Yeah, yeah. It's coming in.
Okay. We can dash it. Come on.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, cool. How was that for you guys? Good, yeah? Powerful, isn't it? Give yourselves a round of applause for giving it life. Because it gives us a sense of authority, importance, and responsibility, doesn't it? Because when you say, I am something, now you're stepping into that role. So we as
affirmation.
it's affirmational, and these young masters, they're saying it at that age. When they're our age, it's just going to be a natural way of being. They're not going to see their brother suffering and not come to his aid. They're not going to see their sister in a situation and not protect her. Do you get it? They're not going to see the community suffering and not think of, what can I create? Do you get it? They're not going to hear about people that's passed on and be like, oh, well, that's... No. Do you get it? So all of those have meaning and they have purpose in all of our lives. So you guys giving it life means that it's now going to grow even more. So yeah, very important.
And I have to say, with that bit there, where
We're
the young man, where King was struggling, that's the type of things that
that's what we love. That's what the sessions are
because
about.
then we want to see how his peers act towards him. Are they going to laugh? Are they going to just say, And then what happens is we step back and we watch and we say, okay, what are you going to do to it? That's actually how it pans out in our sessions.
In the sessions,
Because we want to know what are you going to do in a situation where someone's having a difficulty.
Yes.
Are you going to laugh at them? You're going to point the finger, or are you going to encourage them? And then it cements the line as I am my brother's keeper as well.
Yeah. Darren, come up here.
Plus, it makes good TV.
Huh? Yeah, it makes good TV. Yeah.
Perfect TV. Drama and triumph.
Yeah.
Telling you.
Huh? Yeah, we can do. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so this is difficult. It's difficult because as I span the room, you know, we'd have a stack like this of thank yous, probably like to the ceiling. All right, we've selected a few, just to acknowledge, and those in the rooms, you know who you are. You know you're the light workers of our community, and a lot of the work we do, it's not on TV. Apart from
Today.
But yeah, a lot of the people, and timely for Kevin to arrive as well. Please stay with us. Yes, it's not on TV, it's not on the news. We're just in the trenches, as we sometimes define it, just doing the work, you know. So it's nice to acknowledge and give back, you know. So we've got a few. Certificates of appreciation and gratitude, we call them. And we'd just like to call up a few people. And of course, the first would be Mr. Mir, and we'd like to give you one of these. Hopefully this can be a nice mantelpiece.
Somewhere.
Thank you. And the Mir supported our young masters to get to go, deservedly so. He supported us to go to take our young masters out in the countryside, out of the urban concrete jungle, to do a preparatory rites of passage. So they, as you know, you saw from the footage right here, they faced a lot of challenges. And I'd just like to add, each of the principles you see here, like archery, rock climbing, we adapted it to Manhood Academy's principles. So rock climbing was overcoming fear. Archery was focus. The way you focus this hour right now is the way you need to focus in school. The way you need to focus in your life. So we applied all the principles of the challenges to the Manhood Academy curriculum. So that's how we do. So I'd just like to give this to you, say, in gratitude to you and your wife, and just to say thank you for your support.
Thank you very much. Is that a picture moment? Do you want to picture?
Could I just say, I'm honoured. I don't really deserve this. I want to say thank you to you guys. But also, as I said in my little bit earlier on, the real heroes, you know who you are. All the guys, all the masters who were here before. You're the real heroes of the future in the making. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, so the next certificate of gratitude has just arrived, and I hope she's okay to come up here. This is another Chancellor of Royal Borough of Kenton and Chelsea, who was kind enough. Chancellor
Portia Thaxton.
Thaxton. And supported us also in getting our young people on that adventure trip. So we're very grateful, and we'd just like to give you this as a token of gratitude for your support.
Thank you.
I'm very honoured to be here to support the Manhood Academy. Being an African Caribbean and also in this community, I think is very important for this project to be going on long term, because our children are our future and they need our support. We are a voice in the African Caribbean community, and we need to be here for our young children. Thank you.
Okay. Are we taking still shots when people are coming, or is it because I'm like doing this sometimes and I don't even know what I should do, you know what I mean? Yeah, cool. All right, there's one other one here as well. Yeah, cool. Yeah, okay, enough on it. So, one of the brothers in the community whose energy is it's larger than life. When you hear this brother on the drums, when you see this brother in presence, you know, he
when we see him on the master drummer, master drummer.
When you hear this, the energy that he brings, his presence. I was fortunate enough to last year I was in Gambia with him and we was walking down, you know, the main strip in Senegambia, and you know, like people were just like in awe, you know, and you understand why, because you know he doesn't show up dressing to fit in. You know, he stands out with power, you know, and I was just happy to be walking with him. So it's like, they didn't know who he was, but you know, they knew who he was, you know, because his energy is very, very much effective and affectionate, because it draws you to him. It's not an energy that you feel like, wow, I've got to run away. You're in awe. And then when he starts the drums and he brings those chants from a place of deep within, yeah, he moves you. I don't know if he's going to do anything today, but I'm just giving people a little bit of the backdrop of how powerful this brother is in the community, especially in West London. So we can big up and big honour to Brother Niles.
So, I was bigging up all the brothers. I just want to express Niall, Brother Niall, known for many years. We call some of the crew day ones. In 2016, on our launch day, Niall was there. Cool, Niall, can you do a drum session? Niall will drop everything. He's here. Niall's always been there from the time we started. And it's just, you know, so much gratitude to your presence. You know, we really appreciate it.
Yeah. Levels. Oh, no.
This is a big, big honor. You know? Nothing bigger honor than your brothers honoring you for the works that you do. You understand? And the ones who are coming next, that's what it's all about. So when you see me, you know it's about Africa. It's about going back to the root, always. Unapologetically. Knowledge yourself. We have to remember who we are. When we remember who we are unquantifiable. So we're going back to the root of our essence. Black matter lives, yeah? Not Black Lives Matter, Black matter lives. Remember, now is the time, yeah? We live in a matrix. I don't follow all of the matrices, but we live in a matrix that says it's 2020. You understand? So times that 4, and let's look at the next 12 years and what we're going to be doing and celebrating in the next 12 years. Because the seeds we plant today is going to be the paradigm of what we create in the future. And that future is going to be great and magnificent. If you agree, say Asheo. 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 Love family.
Okay, yeah.
So we use this space every Saturday. I've joined MANHOOD Academy quite recently, but...
And you love it, right?
I absolutely love it.
You got that bit?
I love it. It's actually been an amazing experience. I'm learning, teaching, and one thing that we are able to do is actually use this space. We're able to put things on like this. We're able to have everyone here and acknowledge the youth in the way that we have done today. And the manager of this space, we want to give an acknowledgement towards today, and that is to you, Kevin.
Yeah.
When your higher boss tells you to do a speech, you have to do a speech. And it put me on the spot, so I wasn't expecting this. So it's going to be about 2 minutes because I like to talk. So if you could start the time, Mr. Mayor. Excellent. Now, I don't know if many of you know about the actual Curve Centre. So everyone knows about Grimfield. You probably all drove past it or came past it on the train. One of the worst tragedies that's ever happened in Britain since the war and loss of life. And this centre was set up to support, at the beginning, the survivors and the bereaved. And I don't know if many of you know about sociology and all that kind of stuff, but there's this gentleman called Maslow.
Yes.
And he came up with a pyramid. And he said, like, so if you go like this, so the bottom, the base of the pyramid, is your basic needs. Everyone needs food, or you want to survive. You need shelter to protect you from the elements. You need water to sustain you. Yeah, you need company. That's just the basics. So when you look at those who went through the fire and that experience, they had lost everything. So they needed that basics, the basics to just to survive. And this centre was created and set up by Royal Biochemistry in Chelsea to meet those needs. So downstairs right now we've got a gym, but that gym area was where all the donations came in because they had no clothes or anything like that. The kitchen was making breakfast, lunch and dinner and snacks in between. That's why we had to get a bigger cooker. And that the social area where the seating is, that was people's front rooms where they could congregate, where they could share their experience, where they could hold each other and they could weep and they could shed tears for what their experience they've gone through. But as time has gone on, that need to meet that first step is now decreased. Many of those families are now in permanent accommodation, some are still in temporary accommodation, but that's moving on. And so the centre's needs had to change. And so when I came back, so this is my second stint in the borough. My first stint lasted 24 years. This grey hair ain't for nothing. So when I was asked to come back and help with this centre, we really needed to look at, okay, how can we support the community in a holistic manner? So yes, on the top floor, if you've never been to the centre, that's where we have a lot of our interview rooms. A lot of therapy takes place there. So we've got over 10 speaking therapists on a daily basis. We also have alternative therapies from Reiki to body massage to all sorts of therapies. But if you want to make people strong, you can't just look at one element. You can't just do the speaking. You've got to look at the mind, body and soul. So it's very key that we have projects like this that will complement, that will build people's resilience and make them stronger to go forward. So we do a whole host of things, from having a gym downstairs, because the physical is well documented and known that if you're going through trauma or mental health, being able to get into the gym or go for walks or to run releases the good toxins within your body that makes you feel stronger, helps you to sleep and makes you able to face the challenges that is ahead. You need substance, you need to be able to socialise. So we do a lot of events like this. So as well as the Kwanzaa event that you all will be joining us later on, and Niles will be opening up with the drums and blessing and bringing the blessings. We also done things like Moroccan Independence Day, Sudanese breakfast, Brazilian Independence Day, where we had over 300 people and the whole place turned Brazilian. And I think some of you guys were a bit too with the dancing. I'm not going to expose anyone.
It was memorable. They say that it was memorable.
But from soca to salsa, these guys soon switched. So it's about bringing people together to learn about each other's culture and to be able to share. And that's how we become stronger. The MANHOOD Academy has been going for just over a year within the centre. And as you can see, it's been very fruitful. What I get back from the parents and from the young people is the association, and it's that kind of thing that everyone has knowledge to share and everyone can learn. So it's lifelong learning. We're never too old to learn, and I'm learning every day, and we're all learning every day. But it's that sharing and that coming together that makes it strong, and I think that's the embodiment of MANHOOD Academy. So I'd like to thank you, and thank you for delivering your program from this.
Hold on.
Okay.
We had an order here.
Oh, sorry.
See what Darren's like in the table.
They were wondering, what does his voice sound like? Right, this award is to somebody that I actually have a lot of respect for. So I've got some.
It is extra respect to him.
And he is a community activist.
Champion.
A champion.
Leader.
Yeah, definitely a community leader. He excels in a lot of community leadership in the borough of Tottenham, to give it away, or in the borough of Harringay, I should say, Tottenham, North London, home of that rubbish team up there. He is a member of that community. His work is undying. He is unwavering in his commitment to our boys and our girls. And he has his partner in a company that offers employment to males of the community, yeah, within that borough, and young females of the community as well. I don't think he's finished his work yet. He doesn't rest on his laurels. He's going to continue fighting on. I know that within my heart because I see his works. He's in a good little battle now, and I know that he's going to persevere in this battle. So I would like you all, yeah, to clap for Dean Okai.
Share family. I'll be honest, I didn't know who he was introducing. I feel like a fully fraud being up there. I champion the work that MANHOOD Academy do because I think this should be standard for all of our children across the country. Rites of passage just makes them culturally aware of who they are and strong within that. So irrespective of what they face in society, they've had a grounding as young men with a roadmap of becoming grown men and knowing their context within society and what they need to deliver. So I feel humbled. I feel proud to be up here with my brothers. I'm committing to be in any council that anybody needs throughout the year because they work a lot harder than me directly with the young men. But what I will say is we've got a program called Road CEO coming up that we're going to come and do taster sessions on a Saturday. So I'm going to commit to jumping from my shop on a Saturday and delivering those here just to give them business acumen. Because if we don't support new employers, we're not really seriously thinking about increasing employment for our young people because they're going to face the same barriers and hurdles they faced for 70 years. So I'm humbled. Thank you, brothers. I really didn't know who they were doing. So, thank you.
Our last thank you award appreciation. So this man here, I've worked with him for well over 15 years. And he never ceases to amaze me how he can get young people inspired motivated, and he doesn't cease to amaze me how he can get adults inspired and motivated. He's been to Africa and he's got them inspired and motivated, and he's done sessions here and also in our other branches too. He's a storyteller, he's a teacher, and he's a good bloke. Shut up!
Well, boy, I'm the same as Dean. I'm just kind of thinking, oh, is it Niles again? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm at a loss for words, actually, which is unusual for me. Well, to be honest with you, I was saying to my brother Dean earlier that I wish that what is happening here today and what Manhood Academy has been doing for the last 4 years was something that I had the benefit of when I was a young boy as well, you know, and I think that that is what drives many of the adults in the community who look after the well-being and the future of the young people. We know what it would have been like if we had had a roadmap. We know that there are things that we wouldn't have fallen down on. We know that it would have been easier to stand up again once we did fall if we had the support of our brothers behind us. And one of the things that you were saying when you were doing the, when the young man was struggling a little bit, about the way in which people might laugh and point the finger if you're having a bad time, that's something that most of us as young people had to deal with, people laughing at us, and we had to struggle through. So it's great that Manhood Academy has recognized that the support for growth is within the young people who come through the academy. And the future looks bright. It's not orange though. You know? So I just want to big up Manhood Academy and thank you so much for this award. Thank you.
So just to wrap up and complete, sometimes you see one of you young people in the audience that wasn't here and part of the presentation. Does that mean you just act like they're not here? That's not what we're about, is it? The acknowledgement has to go all the way through, you know? Even if it meant everyone's getting out the door, I would run and stop the door, be like, oh, you get it? Because I believe in acknowledgement, you know? Sashon, there's a lot of attention on you right now, young man, but you are here at the right time.
Come in, Sashon. Yeah.
So you remember, everything's a learning process. Right. Okay. Yeah. Good looking. Not only Sashon, because it's like the team have to point out. Oh, there's one or two others that's still in the building. Okay. Cool. Take your certificates. What? Go on to the teams. Oh yeah, we'll do one. No. That's good. Yeah, we could acknowledge it. We could acknowledge it still. That's your one. Just so there's no confusion, Brother Konsu was acknowledging your mum because we dealt with Parenthood Academy as well. Mum, I know you got. How you feeling? Did you acknowledge you from here? Yeah. Okay, cool. So turn around and give mum a big round of applause. Malachi. Young Malachi. Come on down. Come on, give him a round of applause. Shake his hand, shake everyone's hand as you pass.
1, 2, 3.
You okay?
I'm next.
And Brother Kehinde and O.
And then take a certificate.
There you go, young man. Yeah. Yeah.
We want to give you a round of applause first, though, okay?
And obviously, again, you know, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So, Mum, where you gone?
Mum is right there.
Come on down. Come on. You want to get it? Yeah, come on. I like that. It's like, yeah, I'm coming back up with Mum. No one gets left out unless we've missed out. And it's not even about missing out. It's about empowering that we're at different stages. But in completion, just for any future graduations, if you come late and you don't like being embarrassed, this is what's going to happen, isn't it? That's it. So there's double benefits for it. You know what I mean? Get here early because we're still going to highlight you. Yeah. But overall, for me, I think, you know, I want to say thank you to my brothers, you know, left and right of me, especially. Are
you thanking me more than the others, or do you just?
We need to have Manhood Academy behind the scenes. If you see what goes on with us, it's madness. But especially brothers like O and Mello, aka Bradley, you know, these two, you know, they've come in. How long has it been? You came in a little earlier.
This is September.
Yeah. So they've joined the family, and they've just, you know, when you can add to a family and not even notice that they was never always part of it. That means synergy, right? That means it's easy. There's I don't know if it's because they're both taller than us. That, I don't know. Maybe they like we just respect them, but we've never had no problems. You know, like they're the biggest guys here. You know, and Terry. You know, Terry again. Terry used to do his thing in the community, so he was always with Manhood Academy without wearing Manhood Academy branding. And then I don't know what's changed, but he started to become a little bit more superstarish, where he's no longer the cameraman. You know, like he's now hands on deck, making sure the young people are getting their refreshments, being here, and you know, like we don't like to be a village without acknowledging each other, because we can always say it's about the youth, but guess what? We're doing the work as well, you know? And sometimes we forget to say to each other, yo, thank you. You know what I mean? Thank you. You make my job easier. So I just want to thank everyone here. Brother Darren running Broadwater Farm with Kehinde. That's a whole nother area.
Doing some big works.
They're doing big things down there. So don't see Brother Darren as much as we used to over the years. But I know, salute, it's a phone call. Brand new father again. He's a brand new dad, you know?
We've got to get Manhood Academy nappies.
Yeah. We're working on that. The baby man. He's going to come up with something crazy. Yeah? Yeah, okay. We'll do the last one. Yeah, that's it from me. I just want to acknowledge all of my brothers. And, you know, Amos is not here. Amos is a very key pillar player who's part of Manhood Academy. He got us this building. He's grassroots in West London. You can't come to Ladbroke Grove and not mention Amos. He's like, what? You know what I mean? Like he opens doors that some of us might not be able to open. He's actually working on another project right now, but he said he'd try and pass through. So if you see him, you know, acknowledge him, because we it's not about who you don't see, it's about who you know. You know, it's making a difference. So yeah, can we make some noise for Amos?
So, we're going to seal the deal. All right? Now, how do we function? In Manhood Academy, we fundraise. That's predominantly how we get our young people to stuff to places like PGL and Amsterdam. So
they got the Amsterdam crew, the youngsters that came
Amsterdam crew. Yes.
Come on, stand up. Come on. Show them respect.
So I'd like to pass this round. Now, there's a few things. You know, like when you pass something like this round, and then there's always one that just puts it down, and everyone leaves. It's like, it didn't get round. So can we do a baton? And you know what? It's like pennies make the pounds. It could be £1 or something that doesn't make a sound, but would appreciate any contributions so we can kickstart 2020 on a good note for our young masters. Okay, so I'm gonna pass it here and then we'll pass it around.
Wait.
We're gonna start. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, no one prep for that. All
What was that?
You I'm going to
go on.
All right. Thank you very much. And on that note, we're gonna complete here. Now this is only part 1. Part 2, there's a Kwanzaa event downstairs. All right. The Curve is putting a Kwanzaa event in collaboration with us, and there's gonna be some delicious food, and there's gonna be some culture and something you may not have learned about Kwanzaa. So I would say stick around. After this, we're all gonna go downstairs and just party. Okay. So much appreciation.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, go on.
We've got to look after our wider community, and someone has just blocked the driveway. So unfortunately, I've got to ask someone to just move their car. It's a Nissan. Is anyone driving a silver Nissan that's blocked someone's driveway just up the road? She's come in and said if it could be kindly removed. The registration is... No, she didn't say it like that, but that's what she meant. The registration is KE...
Registration! Sorry, listen!
KE14XDR. So if you're the owner of that car, you can move it, that would be much appreciated.
And lastly, let's acknowledge the people that's going to capture this for future footage. You know, we've got content over everything. Big shout out. Yeah, man. BBC in the building. And Sky, yeah. Thank you very much. You lot all famous after today, man. Yeah. All right, we're good.
If you guys get down,
I do want to go down,
and help me bring it down some cheers.
Okay, so in your own time, if you make your way downstairs, we will continue the celebration. Thank you very much.
Sorry. Can't take away everything from your melody.
Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
So me and Nana at Access UK have developed the Road CEO, which is to deliver business acumen to our young men and young women. So in the respective Womanhood Academy, we come down to do a taster session as well. And once they demystify all of the things involved in running a business, and they learn that these are transferable skills, and they get these in the system from young, they become secondary. So in the 4 processes of learning, they're an unconscious. They don't know what they don't know. You become a conscious unconscious, where they start to get a clue about what they don't know. Then they become a conscious, so now they become functional. And we hope over a number of sessions we get into that stage.